Good morning. It is a chilly couple of days here, but anyway, my day off starts in about 5 minutes. So let me just show you what I got accomplished while I was at work over the last couple of days. And then when I get home, we're going to start the short line again. This time I think it's going to be 6 days long. So we'll see. All right, here you go. This is what I got done. Okay, I got all the colony traps done, ready to roll. And I got all the traps ready to dip. I thought I had them all done, but wasn't quite there. I made some 120 pans. So this is a just galvanized, and it's riveted on there. This one is different than the rest. I decided to try one in the middle. The rest of them, sorry about the camera, the rest of them are just a flat pan that kind of, that's pretty tough to do when I'm not holding it right. But anyway, you get the point. It Mink steps on that baby and bam, done. Lights out. I got anchors on all the dog chain, or on all the dog traps and everything. Those babies are ready to roll. Just have to be dipped. I do have a couple of new ones I need to take care of. I made weasel boxes. I made a couple of weasel boxes, and I made a couple of weasel/mink boxes. So you can see with the shadow there that, you get your 220 on the outside or a 110, either one's fine. And you got your rat trap in there. The bait goes in the back, obviously, you all know that. And then, of course, the weasel box is a little clip there. And of course your bait goes in the back there. So you got, and I put those pans on all the rat traps just to make them more, a little easier to step on. So I know you can buy them with the yellow plastic, but unfortunately nowhere I went to had them. So, all right, here we go, guys. We're moving on. Still got lots to do to get ready for the big trip, but we're getting there. Well, here we are. We're finally out here. Man, sure love having a day off where I have a chance. I'm not on call and I can get out here, spend a couple hours playing around out here. But I got some weasel boxes made. Let me show you what I got going on, and then we'll move on and we'll go reset all the dog traps. Okay, first off, made a couple of weasel boxes while I was at work the other day. And here's that burrow. You see there's lots of tracks. I think I'm gonna put I think I'm just gonna put them both right here, to be honest with you. I'll probably put one over by there and I'll put another one over there. So a lot of rabbit tracks on the creek. The creek's all frozen, or it's not a creek, it's a drainage ditch, but still it's frozen. That means the dogs will start using that as a runway, and that'll be real easy to catch a dog there on the snare. So, all right, moving along. I'll show you what I got when I'm done. All right, well, we're putting a little bit of Sarah's mouse meat in here, and we're also using some skunk junk. It's pretty dark in there. I don't know how well you're going to see it. There we go. So I've got that's tough to see. I'm sorry. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's bright enough. So I've got the trap in there, and of course that's my little homemade pan. I've got the steel wool. I always call it steel wool. Sheep's wool wired to the back. And then you see I've got a half of a 20-penny nail. It's loose right now because the trap is set. But once it's ready to go, I'll pull that nail out and the trap is ready. It won't spring. I can make sure I don't get nailed by this thing. It's pretty tight down in there. So that's a trick from NB Wildman. I saw it on his little making a weasel box. So, all right, let me get these two set. You can see here in this one that I don't have the nail. It's not set yet. Same deal though. Mouse meat with skunk junk. All right, let me get them in place and I'll show you where they're at. All right. So here we go. I've got both traps right in their tracks basically. You know what? I'm sure I could go down the creek a little ways and find another spot, but this is where they're at. So for now anyway, I found this. I almost tripped on it. There's an old fence line right here. This is where we used to keep the cattle. We didn't do it, but the people who owned this place before us, they used to keep the cattle on the west side of that fence. But anyway, here we go. Moving on. I got to give credit to everybody who sets weasel traps. It's not as easy as it looks to get that trap set and then get it in position without snapping it. So I appreciate MB Wildman for showing me that little trick with the piece of wood or a nail or whatever. You know, I used a half of a nail, but whew, without that, I'd have had a real rough go. So, all right, moving on. Oh, by the way, I've never caught a weasel down here in the lower. I caught an ermine once up in the Upper Peninsula. I caught him in a little #1 foothold, and that's the only ermine I've ever caught. And I've never caught a weasel down here, so I guess they're different, but I don't know. I always thought they were the same, then I read that they're different. So anybody know? Let me know. Leave a comment if you know whether a weasel and an ermine are the same thing. Moving on, here we go. Here we go. As predicted, those dogs, they use this drain like a runway. So you can see here it's real clear. They've been traveling up and down this thing. The trick's going to be finding a place to anchor a snare or a trap. So I think up there I can definitely do it right there. I can get a snare in right there. And I think if I follow the drain down, I'll be able to get another good spot to put a snare in. I'll have a tree or something to anchor to. So I'll show you what I got when I'm done. Looks good though. I'm glad to see dog tracks finally on this thing. Hey, good morning everybody. Today has already been an amazing day. I'm 2 for 2 on traps. Let me show you what I got. Whew, man, I can't believe how awesome today's already been. Yes, we are 2 for 2. Look at the size of that sucker. It's a jumbo. The best part is we now have coyote bait started. We're going to see how many more of these babies we can get out of the trapping shed. Yep, it's another great morning. All right, I'm going to go check the coyote traps and the snares. I'll be back. Beautiful moon. Look at that baby. I'm not sure if it's full or not, but it sure is nice. And it's cold enough this morning. We are taking the Jeep to do our checks. So I'll turn you guys on again if we have something to look at. Otherwise, have a great day. Let's see here. What is today? Today's Friday. So, all right. I got to work this morning later, so that's why I'm doing an early morning check. And then I'll be home again. All right. Thanks for being here. All right. So here we are, the most exciting part of the morning. And guess what? There's no tracks. And if you look inside, I don't know how well you'll be able to look inside because of the camera and the light, but there is nothing in those traps. So we're good to go for another day. All right, here we go. Moving on. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. It's Friday. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Nothing this morning at all. So it's supposed to warm up. We'll see if anything starts moving now.